Long ago, in the deep forests of the Huangshan Mountains in China, there was a small village that few knew about. The villagers lived simple and peaceful lives, but every year, on the same night, something terrible would happen. The local elders said that on this night, an ancient evil awoke, and anyone who ventured into the forest after sunset never returned. One day, a young researcher named Michael arrived in the village. He had heard the legends of this place and decided he could debunk these tales. The locals tried to dissuade him, but he didn't listen and set off into the forest on that very ominous night. The forest greeted him with thick fog and an eerie silence. It seemed that even the wind was afraid to disturb the peace of this place. Michael ventured deeper and deeper when suddenly he heard a strange rustling behind him. He turned around but saw nothing but the dark silhouettes of trees. He decided to keep going, convincing himself it was just his imagination playing tricks on him. After walking a bit further, Michael discovered an old, abandoned house. The windows were broken, and the door was half torn off. He decided to go inside, hoping to find some clue about what was really happening in this forest. Inside, an eerie silence prevailed. The walls were covered in mold, and the floor creaked under his feet. Suddenly, he saw something strange, a dusty old diary lying on the table. Michael opened it and began to read. The diary belonged to a local resident who had written about the horrific events that occurred each year. He described how a malevolent creature awoke from the depths of the forest, searching for victims. Those who saw it never returned. As he was reading, Michael heard soft footsteps behind him. He turned around sharply and saw a dark figure slowly approaching him. It was a tall man with empty eyes and a mouth twisted into a ghastly smile. Michael felt a cold fear as he realized this was the creature described in the diary. He dashed for the exit, but the door slammed shut. The dark figure drew closer. Michael began to scream, but his voice was swallowed by the deep silence of the forest. With terror, he realized no one would hear his cries. The next morning, the villagers found the abandoned house, but Michael was nowhere to be seen. Only the old diary, open to the last page, lay on the table. On this page, it was written, "He comes for those who do not believe." Since then, no one has dared to enter the forest on that ominous night. The villagers knew that the legends were not just stories but warnings that must not be ignored.